your headphones?
Hi!
I'm Tyra.
And I'm Missy. And welcome.
Welcome to Two Peas in the Podcast.
Okay, so it's Fat Tuesday. So yeah, so that's why we're a little off.
You get a beat and you get a beat and you get a beat and we gonna march there, get right there.
Yes. It's Fat Tuesday. And you all are going to see this about a week or so later, because we tape in advance. But
Yes. But it's
it
okay.
is what it is.
Let's go with it.
Yeah, just go with it, because last week we had some technical difficulties. So,
Yes.
but a little housekeeping.
Yes. Like, share, and subscribe.
Definitely.
Yes. And encourage others to subscribe.
Yeah. Yeah, because guess what? If we get rich off this, y'all know us.
We're going to bring y'all along.
We ain't say all that. I just said y'all know us, y'all. That's some rich people.
We're going to make sure y'all, if we eat, you eat.
Right. Now, I can do that poor. If I eat, you can eat too.
Speaking of eating, I wouldn't mind a Japanese steakhouse. Hey.
I ain't messing with you. I done ate out. I'm supposed to have been on a diet after I came on vacation last month. Preparing for my vacation this month. And let me just say, you see them two empty donut boxes over there?
Are they empty?
They got a half of one in there. I did not leave no half of one in there.
Okay.
But yeah, the diet is unsuccessful. I'm sorry. The Bible says, eat, drink, and be merry. And that's what I do.
Is that in the Bible?
Yeah, that really is.
Or is that
No, that's really in the Bible. Eat, drink, and be merry.
And be merry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need to see that in the Bible. I've read the Bible from cover to end. And I'm never
telling you,
seen
it's
that
in there. You probably fell asleep on that part.
I probably did. And plus, since I didn't read it from cover, I attempted to.
Honey, when they get to that, this one begat that, and that begat that, begat that, begat that, I'll be like, you know what? Let me just go through these. Let me fast forward through the credits.
It's too much. It's too much here for begotten and everything.
Yeah, this one begat that, and that one begat that.
So yes, and yes.
We have our hand grenades today. These are authentic hand grenades. Actually, these are authentic beads from New Orleans, and I earned them.
And I earned this one
way
because I let one out.
So wrong with her. Yeah, but it is Fat Tuesday today, and somebody just asked me, like, what is Mardi Gras and Fat Tuesday and all that about anyway? Because, people just celebrate these holidays.
And don't know what they're about. And all y'all think is it's about drinking. Somebody been drinking.
The Bible says eat, drink, and be merry. What's wrong with that? But I was explaining to them that Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday is the last day of Mardi Gras. What is that? What you mean, what is this? Ice. Oh, that's a grenade.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. So, Fat Tuesday is the last day of Mardi Gras. Where you do all your sinning, like all your big sinning and drinking and getting fat off food and eating cakes and all of that, because Lent starts tomorrow, Ash Wednesday. So it's Fat Tuesday because you're fat, you're just overindulging. And then Ash Wednesday is tomorrow. And if you're Catholic, that's a big deal.
Yeah. And
you got to go to Mass and get your ashes.
And please, refrain from telling somebody they got dirt on their forehead when you see them.
Right.
Because they know.
They know. Yeah, so that's my little summation of Fat Tuesday and Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is a big, I don't want to say big sin, but it's a big party time. And Fat Tuesday is the last day of the party.
And you know who's never been to New Orleans.
Really?
I'm not a big drinker, so I didn't really see a need to go.
It's not really about drinking either, though. It's about having fun.
Well, that's
you know
what the people tell me.
No, you would really like it because you like to dance.
Yeah.
And literally, when you go down Bourbon Street, there's a live band in almost every little bar or restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So you can walk a few steps and it's one song playing, walk another step, another song playing. The band is, very engaging and interactive with the crowd. It is a lot of fun. I think you would enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. What about the Voodoo King, man?
I stay away from the voodoo people.
You watch Princess and the Frog? That's my favorite Disney movie.
Really? I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I'll be in New Orleans next week.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You are leaving. Missy's leaving again.
I had to take this trip.
Next year, I'm going to New Orleans for Mardi Gras.
I would not suggest that.
Why?
It's too crowded. You can go anytime to New Orleans and have a good time.
Okay.
You don't need to go with all the rebel rousers.
Well, when did the girls from Girls Trip go? Was that Mardi Gras?
I don't know if that was Mardi Gras.
When they was riding.
It's no zip line in New Orleans. We found that.
Was they in New Orleans?
That was in New Orleans.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was just for the movie. Then.
That was just for the movie. Mm-hmm. But they need to. That would be a good.
Yeah, but somebody gonna get hurt.
And somebody probably throw up.
Mm-hmm. And somebody gonna get beat up if they piss on me while I'm standing.
Well, how you gonna catch them?
Girl, I'm gonna find them because they got to come down them steps once they get on the other side of that zip line.
Okay.
They got to come down.
Okay, yeah, because you a track star. You running.
I will find them. I surely will. And investigator, so
okay.
I know how to use my investigative skills.
I know that's right.
Say, okay, they come over here.
I need to tell you something too about investigative skills, but this is not for the show. I'll tell you. Please remind me to tell you because I'll forget.
I'm gonna write it down.
Yes. So today's topic is
accountability.
Accountability. So I like to think of myself as one who holds themselves and others around them accountable. So, but I don't know how that comes across to other people when I like to hold them accountable. I hold myself. Do you think I hold myself accountable?
I say yes and no.
Okay.
I say yes and no. I say you hold yourself and you volunteer your accountability at times. Like you volunteer a lot of stuff.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I mean, this means that like if you yourself notice something that you did or whatever, you'll put it out there. You'll say, you know what, I probably shouldn't have done such and such or whatever, but I did. But oh well, and that's it. And that's it. But if somebody brings something to your attention sometimes, and they say that, oh no, you did such and such or whatever, you may, if you don't agree that you should be held accountable for it, you'll just say, I don't think so. let's agree to disagree. and that's it.
Okay, so that's
there
are no lies there. There are no lies there. That is the complete honest truth. There are no lies there. And I know it's not a lie because you're not the only person that said it.
Okay.
Somebody told me one day, you're being an a-hole. I was like, okay. But when I fundamentally don't think I'm wrong, it's hard for me to hold myself accountable. But when I think I'm wrong, or if somebody brings it to my attention and I see where I was wrong, then I will, I'll be like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, sorry. Okay, so what's up? Sorry.
I think I hold myself accountable on certain things I don't. But for the most part, if I know I did something, and if somebody brings it to my attention, I may, even though I know deep down that they're right, I may tell them, nah. just because I don't want to.
Nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that.
I ain't do that.
Nah. Oh well. Yeah. So,
but I think a lot of people need to start holding themselves more accountable for certain things, like like if you're in a relationship, one thing, you're in a relationship, the relationship doesn't work out, it ends. Most of the time people tend to put the blame on the other person instead of dissecting and looking at their self in that relationship and saying, you know what, maybe I should have done this or I shouldn't have done that or whatever. So I think that a lot of times people tend to kind of shuck the accountability.
I know in one of my relationships, it's very easy for me to blame the other person, just like actually a couple of my relationships. It's easy for me to blame the other person and be like, oh, they did this, they did that, and da da da. But after I got a little older and a little wiser, I really saw my part in, their behavior or their actions. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I'm saying in a couple of relationships is because it was basically the same thing. It was I acted the same way, and the outcome was practically the same. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
and you know what? One thing that I did notice with you, what you're saying, and going into another relationship, you were conscious of that.
I had no choice.
You were conscious of certain things, and you did
no choice.
And you did work on not displaying that same behavior.
I couldn't.
And look, I'm trying to give you props. I'm trying to give the girl props, and she don't want them.
I want them, but I just gotta be truthful.
If
I could have taken a yard, I would. But they was only allowing me a half an inch. So,
but yeah, I know that's something that I'm really, I think growing up, maturing now, I do kind of look at that, and I always, well, not always, but for the most part, I try to look at my role in certain things. Most of the time, I couldn't have done anything any different because I'm just so great. So hard trying to hold yourself accountable when you don't do any wrong.
Right.
But I think most people just ask yourself, just kind of examine your, if you were in a relationship or something and it ended, what role did you play in the termination of that relationship?
Right, and it's really about having a truthful conversation with yourself. That's where accountability really starts.
Exactly.
You really have to have an honest conversation with yourself. And if you can't have an honest conversation with yourself, you might as well not even have the conversation.
Right.
Because if you're going to sugarcoat your mess, it's not going to, you are not holding yourself accountable. You're basically coming up with excuses to excuse the behavior.
Right.
But even in my former relationships, in my parenting, in my friendships, like I really self-reflect. Like, okay, Misty, what did you do? What was your part? How did you contribute to this? Mm-hmm. And then if I'm just gonna be like, well, that's just how I felt and that's what I did. That's not holding yourself accountable. Accountability is, you know what, I could have done this differently, right. Or I could have done this, or maybe I should not have done this. And then here's the clicker. At some point you have to go to that person and apologize or, explain. That's how you hold yourself accountable.
Right.
That's
what I was going to say. At some point, like if you do, and say like in the beginning, you might not realize your role in it. But once you realize it, then it's nothing wrong with going back or, just to kind of right a wrong or anything. Just go back and say whatever. I mean, if it's to the point where you're not communicating with that person or whatever, and and maybe it ended wrong, maybe it could have been anything. It was on bad terms or something.
Well,
if you see that person,
some endings are justifiable.
Some are.
And okay.
Some are. And as long as you realize your role in it, if and you ever get a chance to address it, then you can. And if and you don't, as long as you know your role and you acknowledge it, then that's fine too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I know one place I really don't hold myself accountable ever, really. I know, I'll say I hold myself 65% accountable. And the other part is just not. And that's at work. I'm not the best employee. I'm not the best employee when it comes to time and attendance, maybe. But in terms of getting my work done, I'm going to do whatever I have to do. Like, I have to go into the office tonight. When we finish this, I have to drive into the city and handle some business. But I'm going to do it. I know that's what I need to do in order to, do my portion, have my portion in. So I'm willing to do it. I ain't going to be like, well, I'm not going in the city. And no, if I have to do something, if someone gives me something to do at work, it's going to get done. Number one, because I don't want to hear nobody's mouth. Yeah. That's number one. Number two, I don't really like to go to work, so I try to do as much work as I can without.
And that's good. That's good. At the end of the day, you go to work to do the job that they ask you to do.
Right.
As long as you get that job done, however you see fit, then that's fine. One of the issues that I have with work is that I'm going through now. The goal is to get here. I usually go this route to get there. Now I got a new supervisor who wants me to go this route to get there. In my mind, at the end of the day, as long as I get there, what's the problem? But this person is mad that I went to the right to then, and as opposed to going to the left because she favors going to the left.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the goal is here, and we both end up here.
Right. You know what? I think in situations like that, and I'm not just speaking to your situation, I'm just speaking to situations like that in general. Once the new supervisor comes in, and once they have confidence in your ability, they ain't gonna care no more. They really not gonna care anymore. Because I had a supervisor, and she was a time and attendance stickler. Like her first day of work, because I had already been there and already do what I do. And at this time, I was only maybe 20 minutes late. And
that's good, y'all.
Yeah, I said that like that was something. I was like, I'm just 20 minutes late. I walked into her office. I was like, oh, hi. So you're my new supervisor. She's like, you're late. I was like, oh, I know that's right. Okay. So, for the first couple of months, I just had to.
It's been 5 months.
But here's the difference. I won her over. She just fell completely in love with me. So, and then she ended up being my protector. Like, my director didn't care too much for me. He would want to try to do little things to me. And she was like, you ain't doing it unless you do this to everybody. You ain't doing this to her. So I just, with that, I feel once there's a relationship and a rapport between the employee and the supervisor feel, I don't know what you were messing with, but leave it alone. I said I have ADHD. I think it's you.
That's because you're getting ready to say something that I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Because I already know, I know where you're going. Some things are not.
I said I was making a general, not specifically to you.
Okay.
Because I do think there is some issues. There are issues there, but I do think there are issues on both sides, where both sides could do a better job.
And once again, I'm not taking accountability for that because I feel like I've done nothing wrong. Nothing. Now.
We'll just agree to disagree. I don't know who came up with that saying, but that was the best thing ever. That isn't like a catch-all. We'll just agree to disagree. And when people can't, you know what I find? When people can't agree to disagree, something wrong with them. Why can't you take the fact that I have one way of thinking, you have one way of thinking, and they're not the same, but we ain't got to beef about that.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm definitely okay with it because I'm always saying it.
Hey. Okay, so accountability in friendships.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it comes down to communication in terms of friendships, because friendships are not exactly like parenting or work. Well, no, work too. I guess with all the relationships, it comes down to communication. Like, I can go about my normal daily or whatever weekly happenings, but if my friend doesn't communicate to me that it makes them feel a certain way, I can't even hold myself accountable. So one, you have to put me on notice. Like one friend of mine, she told me straight up, she said, I don't like being the butt of your jokes. I don't like it. And I said, but you give me so much material. And then I said, I'm the butt of a lot of my jokes too. So, how I'm going to hold you in a higher regard than I hold myself. But ultimately, now I think about it because I know.
And that's good.
That's good. And I did apologize. I said, I'm sorry. And I think about half the jokes that I make now. I think about them before I make them. And sometimes I say, I got a really good joke right here, but I'm going to leave it alone. Can I?
Oh, Lord. And sometimes people say, she just can't help herself.
If you hear how I talk about myself, like, how am I not talk about other people if I talk about myself the way I talk about myself?
Well, you're okay with you talking about yourself. Other people may not be okay with you talking about them.
They need to get here.
No.
They need to get here. Like, they need to be the Teflon Don. Like, it don't matter what nobody say. I already know what it is. So, boom. But yeah, it's with friendships, it's hard. Friendships can be so draining and difficult at times. But if you really value the friendship and the person, if you value the person and the relationship, then you'll figure out some happy medium for whatever the situation is. But I love my friends. And my friends, I think, hold me accountable. We are a circle of It's like no cut cars. It's like no. You can't be a softie in the circle. You know, like somebody gonna tell the truth. Like I can sit up here and be like, oh, I don't do that. Somebody be like, oh yes you do. Oh you don't. And then you get all that. So the circle usually holds. I mean, we hold each other accountable when you be like, I do no wrong. And I do it on here all the time. Be like, that's the accountability smile. Be like, so yeah, I think it all depends on your friendships. Like some people, I wouldn't care what they said. Mm-hmm. Like, but are they my friends or are they associates or just people I know? Yeah. Some things ain't gonna matter if it come out the wrong mouth. I can be just like whatever. Those are the times that later on I'll look and be like, Missy, you didn't have to be that. Like I said something today, and my oldest was like, why are you so mean? That was mean. And I said, was it? I said, but it's the truth. But now that I'm thinking about it, was mean. It was mean. Yeah. But I just said it to her. I didn't say it to the person I was talking about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, she go back and tell the person that I was talking about it, that she was mean, because she shouldn't have told her. But I would explain to her why I said it, because it's the truth. But
I think for me, I need to, there are a couple of my friends that I need to hold myself accountable on, certain situations within the friendships. One of my issues is that like I have an issue with a friend. Mm-hmm. I have not expressed my issues that I had with that friend. Mm-hmm. Saw that friend at a function. The friend, in turn, I assume was upset with me and decided she didn't want to talk to me, so she went the whole other direction. I went to the function with the intent of, let me sit down, because I knew she was going to be there. Mm-hmm. Let me sit down and talk to her. And, but once she did that, I was like, oh well, me, I just walked off, whatever. Right. But, and even since then, she's reached out to me, and in my mind,
you're being stubborn.
I'm being very stubborn because I don't.
See, like, I just called you out. That's how it is. That's accountability. That is accountability. We just displayed it.
I am. But in my mind, I don't have room for what comes with that friendship.
So maybe you don't want that friendship.
That's what I think. That's what I think. However, I think I do owe that person
definitely
an explanation as to why I decided to handle things the way the route that I did.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I don't know how to turn my phone off anymore. It just won't do nothing.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why. Whatever function you were at, the person may have not, for whatever reason, they did a beeline. It might not have been. How do you know that? Yeah. I need evidence. How do you know that?
The person, I'm coming in this way. The person walking this way, and we look dead in each other's face. Mm-hmm. There's no way this person and I should have veered off any other way. Right. And I'm talking about years of friendship.
Right.
There's no way. Not to mention the fact that I had saw the person outside of the function.
Were y'all beefing before?
I talked to the person outside the function. It was this in general, but I wanted to sit down with her and have a full out conversation to let her know this is how I feel about what has transpired between us. And she definitely did it. When you see somebody coming this way and you,
I'm not saying she didn't do it.
But here's my thing. Here's the other thing. Like I said, again, now that was some years ago. That was what, 2 years? How old are we? 52. That was 2 years ago that this incident happened. I haven't heard from that person, and so maybe about a month or two ago.
You haven't heard?
Hi.
For that commercial break, we had to take a little pause for the calls.
Yes.
Okay, but go pick up where you were saying that you all were at an event.
We're at an event, and no, I think I was saying, you were asking me if I wanted the relationship or not, and I think I came to realize that maybe I don't, and maybe that's why I'm not reaching out to that person, because a lot comes with it. It can be draining, but also a part of me do miss the friendship, because we're talking like years and years of friendship. So
do you feel that you are able to have this conversation with this person and like maybe put emotions aside and just kind of focus on the issue?
I can.
Okay.
I can.
It's been 2 years.
Yeah, and again, I'm holding myself accountable because she has reached out. But in my mind, I feel like when she reached out, you should have acknowledged certain things that have happened, and you didn't.
Right.
So if you're reaching out to me to say you calling me just to chit chat and catch up,
right?
Well, you know my mom died. You never acknowledged that. I don't know if you know about my dad. As my friend, you should have been there. Right. You should have acknowledged it. So, and if you weren't there, and if you say I didn't know, you know, because I do know that somebody told you. So you should acknowledge it.
So,
if nothing else, leave me a message to say, hey, I heard about your mom. I have not gotten a chance to talk to you. Give me a call. I would have quickly picked up the phone, but if you telling me I'm just calling to kick the boo boo with you and shoot the breeze, when I know full well that you know that my mom passed and you don't want to acknowledge it,
right?
That's
so
an issue.
What stopped you from picking up the phone when she reached out and just telling her that?
Because of the message that was left to me after I knew that she knew about it.
Right, but still, what stopped you from when she... Because this is a problem I think we have just as friends, as family, as co-workers. We don't want to communicate. We don't want to say, what you did hurt my feelings. We just don't want to appear weak or like it mattered to us. Like, I would rather go through life acting like you don't matter than to address the situation. Because are we afraid to hear their truth? Because it seems like to me, if my mom passed away and one of my friends didn't acknowledge it or reach out to me, and then months later or years later they reach out to me, I'm going to pick that phone up, but the first thing I'm going to say, you know what? I'm kind of upset with you because when mommy passed away, I didn't hear from you. And I consider you my friend. So now you take the onus off of you being stubborn to putting it on them to having to explain themselves. Then at that point, if the explanation is some bullshitty, then you need to be like, oh, okay. All right, well, I got to go use the bathroom. I'll talk to you later. Click. And you ain't got to deal with that person.
Okay. I think for me, I like to, again, that person needs to take accountability for her actions. There's no way, and to this day, if something happened to one of her parents, I do believe that I probably would reach out to her and acknowledge that. But I don't need the conversation. I don't need any of that, because again, when I think about it, and the hesitation with me even picking up the phone, it's a lot that comes with it. And do I want that? I got enough on my plate. Do I want to add more on my plate? And that's not just with her. There's another friend too that I'm like, no.
I must have.
If I reach out to this person, I'm potentially putting myself in a place where I may have to take on more responsibility, and I have enough responsibility of my own.
When you say take on responsibility, what does that mean?
That means that if a person is ill, and I know the person is ill, and the person is my friend, I know me, you know me.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to me,
you talking about the person that
this is another friend.
Oh, this is another friend.
Friend. If I have enough already that I'm doing, so if I do this and reach out to this person, my heart, my conscience will not allow me to just say, I just called to say hi, knowing full well that this person need help in certain aspects of their life.
But hold it. What kind of friend are you if you know your friend is in need? And
I'm the friend that I'm that friend that would be there and that would do all of that. But I'm also the same friend that has always been the one to reach out all the time.
Well, but when you have established a pattern of friendship,
mm-hmm.
and if the pattern of friendship, and this can go for family too,
right.
if me and my sister, me and my friend, me and my boo, me and my boyfriend, whoever, if I'm always the one that's reaching out to correct whatever's going on, then I've established that I'm the reacher.
Mm-hmm.
So they hands off because they're not used to reaching out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the reacher. So if you want that role to change, put people on notice. Look, I'm reaching out right now because I want to establish some boundaries.
I disagree. We're gonna agree to disagree with this one because I'm at a place now where I feel like people know what they're doing. People know how they are. If you have not, assuming or whatever. But I do know that if I mean something to you and you know that I have not been there and you have not picked up the phone to find out why I'm not there, you don't want me there. You don't want me there.
That could be true.
So if that's the case, then I'm going to leave you where you at and I'm going to stay where I'm at.
Okay.
You know? I have done it. I have reached out to friends. I've always been that type of person to reach out. If I think about a person, I'm going to call them and say, hey, how you doing? I'm just reaching out to, or send a text or something. I do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get those type of texts from people out the blue? I don't. But I still do it.
But that's who you are.
That's who I am.
And you can't expect others to be who you are. It's only one Tyra.
And that's true too.
And in some instances, thank you, Jesus, it's only one of you.
That's true. That's true. But I'm not. But certain things, after a while, I'm not doing that. I'm not reaching. I'm not telling a grown person how to be grown.
It's
I'm
not about telling them.
Friend how to be a friend.
It's really not about telling them how to be a friend. But it's more so telling them how to be a friend to you and what they've done to you. It's about communicating. You really cannot. Remember when you cut the hair?
Yes.
That didn't. Hold it. That didn't. You in your mind that was nothing. Mm-hmm. In my mind, it was something. And it wasn't until I communicated to you that it was something that then you then said, "Oh, dang, Missy, I didn't even realize that. I'm sorry." Mm-hmm. Now, suppose I said, "Oh, she cut that hair off my arm and I'm done." Because she should have known better.
Mm-hmm. Then I would have said to you, "What's wrong with you?"
Well, you can't say to me because I ain't answering. I cannot figure out how to turn this daggone phone on.
Why don't you just take the phone in the room or something?
Oh, I could, right? I don't know what's...
Take accountability for your phone.
I'm gonna turn it on.
But I'll say this. I'm going to say this, and this is it, and this is done. This is the my accountability on the friendship part is I really should, because it does bother me and it does pop in my head to respond to the person, but at the end of the day, I'm hesitant because I don't want to open that door up. I don't think
what happens in the door?
I don't think I want the apology, because then that means that, you know, the person going to apologize. I'm gonna be back open to it, and then that's
so you really don't want this person as a friend.
I don't know if I do or not.
If you haven't talked to him in 2 years, you don't.
I don't know that, and the thing is, I just feel like there's going to be a lot that comes with it.
Then don't. Then you have made a decision not to be, and that's okay. It's okay if you don't want to be friends with people. Outgrow each other. Because you were friends at 5, you don't necessarily have to be friends at 50. Yeah. It's nice if it works out, but who you were at 5 years old and what you did and how you moved is completely different than how you are at almost, you're not 60. I'm almost 60. She just 50 something. I don't know. I can't even remember how old I am.
Because you fib about your age so much, and we're 52, and she trying to put people one foot in the grave.
Now hold on, we're ready to turn 53. Now I can't say I'm almost 55 at this point.
No.
Why? If I was doing my taxes and
when you're 54, you can say you're almost 55.
Oh Lord. Okay.
All right. Well, shoot, you jumping a whole 5 extra years. So I'm almost 60. You ain't almost 50.
Tell you, girl.
You ain't almost.
We 55. Almost like seriously. Look how quick 50 came.
Anyways, yes. I'm holding myself accountable on the fact that I have not done my part on that friendship.
Okay, on the first friendship, I would say after 2 years, you don't want to be friends with that person.
Well, I haven't talked to the second one in even longer either.
Well, these are not your friends.
Clearly.
Because even if either I'm friends with people. Somehow I communicate with my friends. If it's no more than a text, a Facebook, how you doing, or something, a call, something. It's gonna be something. But I'm not the one to say, oh, I gotta talk to my friend every day, every week. I have a friend. She's been my friend since I was 4 years old. And I don't talk to her as much as I talk to, maybe Tyra or Michelle or Taunt, the girls. But I still consider her my bestest friend. She's my longest friend, and she has always been there for me. Mm-hmm. I consider her, but my ties with other people are different. But she has always been my friend. Mm-hmm. So, and we don't talk, but it's not like, if I want to call her, I would feel less than a friend if I felt like I couldn't call her because if it was an issue. And only one time she and I fell out, and we didn't talk that time because we really wasn't talking. Mm-hmm. But that only lasted like a good 2 months.
I don't think, and to be honest, and to be honest and to be real, if I were to call either of them to this day, it wouldn't be, it would never be an issue. Like, what's going on might just be a Tyra thing in my head. And in their
That's
world,
why Tyra has to communicate it to
in their world, everything might just be fine because, again, they're probably used to me being the one to do the reaching out. That last incident, though, I can't shake that. I can't shake that. You saw me.
It's in your spirit. That's why you have to address it.
And I don't need to address it because I felt the coldness in the interaction when I did see the person outside. I felt that coldness.
Let me ask you a question. If say me and you at Walmart.
You cut me off every time, and then I be forgetting what I'm about to say.
But ADHD.
Man, I don't forget.
I was going to say, if I saw you at Walmart and I walked right past you, you would go 2 years without calling me, finding out why?
No, that's different.
That's what I'm talking about. That really wasn't your friend. Y'all had outgrown each other.
We could have outgrown each other. But this is somebody that I will actually say, like, all day, every day, us on the telephone, all day, every day, all day, every day.
As teenagers?
Yes.
Okay, so Tyra as a teen.
And I would say even in adult world, because keep in mind,
Tyra, I think you should reach out to this person and just say, you know what? Look, I think because it's still troubling your spirit. Because if it wasn't troubling your spirit, it wouldn't have come up.
It does. It does.
So you have to put it to rest. You have to address it. You don't have to deal with that person. You can just say, I needed to get this off my chest. I needed to know, you need to clear your plate. Did I do something to you to make you for you to treat me the way you did? And if the person comes back and says, yes, you did this and I was upset with you, then you can say, I apologize. That wasn't my intent. Or you can say, I did that because of X, Y, and Z. But at some point you got some resolve. Because it's troubling your spirit. And if it's troubling your spirit, you can't be at peace.
Yeah. And I know me. At some point, I probably will reach out to that person.
Year 10? You said what? I said year 10.
I might. I don't know. But I probably will reach out to that person at some point. But hey.
Yeah, do it when you're comfortable.
I may not. Who knows? I may just say, you know what? I got other things on my plate like I am right now. And that's not a big issue or big deal to me. So, accountability and self-goals. A lot of us need to take accountability with our self-goals that we have. Myself included. We say we're going to do these things and we don't do it. The lose weight part. And we just eat what we want to eat. And we still say, I need to lose weight, I need to lose weight, I need to lose weight. But we don't do nothing towards it.
Right. I told y'all the other week, I just want to be fat and happy. I don't want to lose weight. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to be fat, healthy, and happy. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's the reality.
But can you be fat, healthy, and happy without doing anything to be healthy?
I told you I'm relatively healthy. I only take high blood pressure medicine, 1 pill. But everybody in my family has to take it, whether they, fluffy like me or what I see as food depraved. We all have to take it. So, other than that, no cholesterol, no diabetes, no heart disease. But see, this is where it's hard to. I don't hold myself accountable, and I don't listen to other people when it comes to certain things. So, it's a complete epic fail for self accountability when it comes to these goals, in terms of education, in terms of job. Once I'm comfortable, it's cruise control. Moving, I don't move a lot. Once I'm in a space, I'm there.
Yes.
So I can't hold myself accountable for stuff like that because I really don't set those type of goals for myself. Although I do have a goal right now, and I have been proactive. See, I do what I want to do. That's the problem. I said I want to retire and go to the P.E.A.S for for the next few years. So I have been proactive in that. Okay. So I do what I want to do.
Okay, yeah.
But if I really don't want to do it, I don't do it.
And that's another thing. A lot of people complain about their jobs, and they complain and complain and complain, and they don't do anything towards getting out of them jobs. I think, and you want to know something that made me think, reflect on what's been going on with me lately, with my position. I think that God is making it uncomfortable for me to move because I was about to get complacent in that position. Whereas, I had a goal, and one of the goals that I had was to not get stuck in a position like I did at my previous employer for almost 10 years. So I'm thinking that maybe that's God's way of saying, okay, you did your time. It's time to move on. So maybe that's why I'm going through what I'm going through now.
That could
with
be.
This supervisor, because I have been, like you said, I've been on it. I've been enlisting help, everything. I got to do what I got to do because I'm too old to be. I ain't got time. I'm too old to. In words of my girlfriend from Sandbox, I'm too old and too tired. I ain't got time to be dealing with nobody on my heels about stuff, and I want to be on cruise control at my employer too. I'm gonna do the work. Trust me, the work gonna get done, but I don't need you on my heels. And you know, my attendance, I actually, well, no, I had a valid reason for calling off. Had a valid reason for calling off, but I actually did because in the past. It took a lot for Tyra to take a day off. I make my appointments at the beginning of the day in the morning or at the end of the day so that I can come in late or leave early. But I actually took a whole day off for my appointment. Now keep in mind I was sedated, so I didn't want to be at work like that. Anyway.
I might take a whole day just to prepare for taking off the next day. And then I might have to take off another day to recoup from taking off the other days.
But yeah, I actually took a whole day off.
Yeah, I never understood that. But I got a friend who is a former colleague and supervisor. She's just like that. She is that is her thing. That is her thing. She is a stickler for her time. Her time. She really, now's the laptop. She really holds herself accountable. And in some respects, I admire it. But in another respect, I'm okay with how I roll too. So, you know.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with the way you roll either. Either way is fine. To each his own. You know.
Yeah. Well,
but
you have any other notes?
Let me see. We already talked about parenting, so that's
we did that other episode.
Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, in whatever you do, try to hold yourself accountable. And even if you don't hold yourself accountable, out in public, at least hold yourself accountable to yourself. Be true to yourself.
Yes.
Always.
Always. And hopefully you have a circle of family and friends that will call you out and hold you accountable when those days you're a little short. This is like poem. You know what?
But I'll tell you
this is all these donuts right here. This is not a poem. This is fat now, I think.
Lord Jesus. Well, but I say this much too. I have been thinking about that, so I might do that, cause that's the right thing to do. I try to do the right thing.
You know what somebody said? There is a right. Busta Rhymes. It was Busta Rhymes. Y'all did you ever watch that?
No, I don't have 4 hours to devote.
You can do an hour a day.
I don't think I have an hour.
He dropped some life jewels in this thing. Busta Rhymes said, for every situation in your life, there's a right and a wrong way to do it. And we spend so much time trying to talk ourselves out of doing the right thing. It's a right and a wrong way to do everything. And we all know the right thing to do.
You know who else said that?
Who?
Keith Sweat.
Well, maybe Busta got it from Keith. Hold up. Why didn't we go see Jodeci and New Edition in Baltimore?
I don't know. You know, I want to see Jodeci. Now, I'll tell the people, the fans, this, because everybody keeps asking, oh, I know you're going to see New Edition. I am a diehard New Edition fan. However, I have not been eager to run out there because in my mind, I've seen New Edition so many times. I'm trying to figure out how many different ways can you sing Candy Girl $200 and $300, whatever the price.
No,
is.
these tickets weren't $400.
Okay,
these tickets weren't.
But
$400.
I was like, how many different ways can you sing Candy Girl? I don't.
No, I wanted to see Jodeci because I saw a video.
I heard that they did
KC
well.
sounds pretty good.
I heard that they did really well.
They're gonna be in Charlotte.
I would definitely. I would splurge to do it, to see them, to see Jodeci. I know Bae's a Charlie Wilson fan.
JoJo.
I mean, is he gonna sing "Burn Rubber" on Me, Charlie?
Hold it, don't sleep on Charlie Wilson.
Yeah, I heard he gives a really good show too.
You like the songs.
Yes. So
why are you doing that to Charlie? Let me hold you accountable for being. Na dance. Don't mean I don't want to. Yeah. So yeah, we might have to take a road trip to Charlotte.
Yeah. When are they coming here?
They were here this weekend.
No, they're not coming to DC. Did DC even have an arena anymore?
MC.
What's the name of that place?
It's not.
What's the name of the place over there by your job? The big stadium where I used to work at. Remember we both used to work down there and didn't know it?
The stadium? MCI?
Is that it? Used
Verizon?
To be, it used to be the Verizon.
Verizon. I don't think they need a venue that big though.
Oh, okay.
For real, they should do like a Birch. No, they probably can do a little better than a Birchman.
Yeah, Birchman is too small.
Yeah, Birchman is small. But I don't know. We definitely digress there.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it, but New Edition ain't getting my money. They're not getting all my
they're not getting if it's $400, they're not getting. $300, they're not getting.
I got other things that I got. Other people want my money.
Well, I did want to go see Jeffrey.
The I, the R, and the S.
Oh, don't say that. I don't even want that in our algorithm. I wanted to go see Jeffrey Osborne this Friday, but I couldn't find no takers. You said no.
You said you was. Ain't you going to the brunch or something?
That's Sunday. I would have been.
Jeffrey can't have my money. I gotta pay rent. I got bills to pay.
Michelle said, "Forget Jeffrey. He owed her gas money and mileage
from Ohio.
So when we went to Cleveland, it wasn't Jeffrey's fault.
Yes, it was.
It was not Jeffrey. That was the promoter's fault. I'm sure Jeffrey was mad he didn't get his money.
Accountable too. We probably was the only ones who bought tickets.
Jeffrey was on a good show. That show was good.
Well, I watch him on YouTube. I'm sure he got a show on YouTube.
Yeah, okay.
When he come to town, then I'm there.
He's short though. He really short.
He not that short.
No, he's really short. Well, he's short for my standards. So.
Can you woo?
No, Jeffrey puts on.
Can you woo?
No.
Woo.
On your way home, start. You got Amazon Music.
I already listened to Jeffrey. You know I'm already a Jeffrey fan.
Listen to what I'm saying. Do you have Amazon Music?
I think I do. Oh, actually, yeah. Because you want to know something?
What?
I had 2 Amazon accounts, and they've been double billing me. And the nice Amazon rep was the one who said, "Okay, you got 2 accounts, and you have Prime on your Gmail and Prime on your Yahoo."
That's when you know people rich. When they don't know they paying the bill.
No, I'm not rich because I thought I was on Auntie's plan using up hers. I get crossed in all of this nonsense.
That was God. But anyway, do his live album. It's worth it. It's a good road trip.
Okay.
Mary J. Blige got a live album too that's good to listen to. It's a nice traveling thing. But anyway, it's about that time.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed.
Listen, people.
Yes.
Sometimes we have a little technical difficulties, but we do our best to bring it back to you any way we can. So, with that being said, this episode had a commercial break. Right. But you're not going to see the commercial. I should throw a commercial in there. Let's throw a commercial in there. But we know that there was a commercial break. Yeah.
But anyway, like, share, and subscribe. Yes. Happy Fat Tuesday a week later. Woo. Earn your beads, baby. Earn your beads.
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay.